All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist Jordan Darensberg. I hope everyone has enjoyed their Hump Day Wednesday. And before we get to the heat for later on this afternoon, I want to show you something that, in the words of the one and only Pink Pantheress, this might feel illegal for the summertime. So let's go ahead and let's go to the wall here and let's take a look at our recorded lows. And your eyes are not deceiving you, so don't be scratching them. While, yeah, Cameron only got down to 71 and Camp Mabry only got to 70, look at how close the airport got, how low the airport got, 63, as well as Taylor. And, I mean, this is the part that feels illegal. 59 in Gillespie County. I mean, this near the end of July is absolutely unheard of. I mean, I can't even believe it. Like 59 in the end of July? I mean, that has to feel amazing. 61 also Llano. San Marcos checked in at 61 to start the day as well. So a lot of Central Texans started the day on a very high note this morning. But as we take a look at our temperatures right now, we're at 94. Nice live look at the Zach Theater as well as Lake Travis, where I was on this past Sunday. It was such a nice time. That lake looks so good when it's almost full. And we've even got temperatures that are in the mid-90s, perfectly conducive for a lake day like today, such as Cedar Creek at 97. Kyle also at 97. We do mostly have mid-90s, and we do have some straggling upper 80s in Marble Falls. But pretty much everyone else is in those lower 90s now. The Hill Country checking in with 91 Mason, 90 Fredericksburg, and then mid-90s as you head down to Bobcat Country in San Marcos. Great day to float that river down there too. Allergy count, weeds and hickory in the low, mold is medium, and you can find that each and every day on KVUE.com and the KVUE app. Now I want to show you a couple of numbers that may look a little different than what you've seen in the past. These green numbers, they are your dew points, so it gives you a good gauge of how dry the air is. And you see these dew points down into the 50 range, even a 47 for a dew point in Luling. That kind of shows you that we're in that dry heat as opposed to that moist heat like what we will be seeing later this weekend with our storm chances. But other than that, mostly upper 60s and low 70s for lows tomorrow morning, with the dew point ticking up just a little bit to around 60. But then as we head through tomorrow, same story, upper 50s, low 60s for your dew points. That's your green numbers. And look at what the air temperatures do. We get close to the triple digits both today and tomorrow, like what this model does show. And that's because of the drier air. Because remember, drier air tends to heat up faster. Let's take another look at your dew points to start your Friday morning. They do tick up to around that tropical range in some spots, including Bastrop 70, getting 72. Those are the green numbers there. And look at how the temperatures respond. They don't cool down as much. We're going to be getting to those mid 70s only for lows to start your Friday morning. Now, as we take a look at an area of high pressure sitting right over portions of the Big Bend and Permian Basin regions, that's going to shift off to the west as we head through portions of this weekend. And what that's going to allow for is some of that moisture to come into central Texas, and that could give us a few more of those isolated to widely scattered storm chances. We have only had 4 triple-digit days in 2025 so far. I think we make it 5, 6, and 7 over these next 3 days. There was number 3 on the 24th. Yesterday was number 4. And I'm thinking 5, 6, and 7 to get into August, which, by the way, it's our hottest time of the year, July 31st to August 14th, which is very interesting because we're going to start to see the kids come back to school, and hopefully everyone stays safe during this hottest part of the year. Now, as we look at the next 7 days, there are a few storm chances that are possible, and I do want to draw your attention to that. Friday, Saturday, especially a 20 to 30% chance. Same story for Sunday as Friday. We do have about a 20% chance a weak disturbance is going to make its way through, and that does give us a good chance for maybe a few of those isolated to widely scattered showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder as well. So David Alford's reaction, 59. Wow. My man, you're absolutely right. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the boxes because, I mean, This is unheard of for this time of year, folks. In fact, I'm going to check the record book here real quick for the coolest low temperatures at Camp Mabry during the month of July, because that has to be really rare. Let's see. July's coolest low temperature was 57. For what it's worth, Camp Mabry's coolest all-time low temperature was 57 in the month of July. And Gillespie County checked in at 59. So that kind of puts things in perspective, how cool and how nice this morning had to be for us today. And a lot of these lows, a lot of these record lows at Camp Mabry were at 62, and we're at 67 for today, but we were very low in terms of our temperatures early this morning. And let's see, and it does not look like, or we actually did break a record low at the airport this morning. So a new record low was set at the airport this morning. 63 was that low. The previous record was 67, set back in 1971. So that is something that is pretty rare here in Central Texas, and dry air and low humidity contributed to that. Now let's get back to our 7-day forecast, because we get humbled real quickly, especially as we head into the weekend, because I want to draw your attention to these feels like temperatures here real quick. If I can get that circling tool to work. It doesn't look like I can for this particular, see, okay, now I can. Here we go, good. So 104 Friday, 104 Saturday, 103 Sunday, 105 Monday, or better yet, let me go ahead and pull this up because I can't really get the tool to work. Here we go. So here's your heat index forecast, because we do have temperatures dropping a little bit with that area of high pressure moving on off to the west. This humidity and the feels like temperatures will make up the difference in a sense, because Friday we're looking at 104, Saturday we're looking at 104. When you factor in that added humidity, it's going to feel hotter on your body than the actual air temperature. So something you're going to want to watch for, and make sure you're still drinking plenty of water. Now we are below the heat advisory threshold. This is important. Below the heat advisory threshold, but that still means take every necessary heat precaution. Even when we don't have heat advisories, ATC EMS talks about stories about heat stroke and reports about heat exhaustion or things of that nature. So be mindful of this as we're going throughout the course of the weekend. But we do also want to keep an eye to the sky out, because there's your storm chances right there. Friday 20%, Saturday 30%, Sunday 20%. So that weak disturbance could bring in a few of those isolated showers, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder as well. Let's see, are there any more questions other than David Alford? I'm just kidding. You're my guy. We know that. Let's see. Anyone else? Anyone else? Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Looks like that's about it. But I just want to take a moment and I want to say thank y'all for joining me this afternoon. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of your day. And I will see you on KVUE News at 4 with all of the latest on your forecast, as well as the potential for some of those storms. And we'll have an updated look at that. Thank y'all so much for joining us today.